Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Folk, and welcome back to another episode of the Channel 256 News, brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World. The day is September 30th, the end of the quarter and the end of the monthly close. Bitcoin currently hovering above $114,000 at $114,228. Looking good, being able to close the month plus 5.4%. If you know anything about the crypto market in the month of September, that is not so common. So to be able to see moves like this and historically the worst month out of all of them is pretty sweet and nice to look into the future and to what we can expect for the rest of the year. Looking at the Bitcoin net hash rate, currently sitting above 1 zettahash at 1.153 zettahash. Looking up on the week, getting close back to that all-time high that we just set the other day. Super cool to see more and more miners plugging in. Looking over at hash price maintaining to stay above that $50 mark, opposed to just a little bit today where it did fall down slightly, but looking nice. Currently sitting right at, $50.62. People getting paid for running their miners. Looking over in traditional finance, we've got the Dow Jones up 81 points, the Nasdaq up 68, S&P up 27, and the Russell making some crazy moves at the end of the day, managing to pull off a plus 1.24 points. Crazy day if you guys were here watching. I've been talking about this day for the past, 3 weeks at this point. Huge to see us closing where we did. Ideally, we would have saw a close above the 24.41, 24.49 range. We didn't get that. However, with the crazy amount of volume we were getting at the end of the day and with how close we got, we can take that as a bullish signal that things are going to continue moving to the upside. Hopefully that continues. We saw the moves out of crypto, out of Bitcoin, along with the general crypto asset class. Right now, it's not looking too hot just compared to where we were from last night on the 24-hour chart, and the last hour taking a slight bit of the dive. But compared to the last week, I mean, if you're looking at these numbers, we're down, but what, 0.1%, 0.6, 0.1, 0.2, 0.8, 0.1. It's essentially a stable coin at this moment. But it's super nice to see. Hopefully this can continue on to October, the best month historically for crypto, and we don't get some type of reversal like we'd have with September normally being a bad month. It ended up being a good month. Hopefully that does not continue. But I mean, looking over here, we'll go up 3.58% in the last month, close the monthly candle plus 4.25 over on the S&P, plus 6.49% on the Nasdaq, and plus 2.43% on the Dow Jones. So all things considered, markets are looking hot. Hopefully we don't see a government shutdown. Haven't seen too much on that as of now, but there was a 78% chance just a few hours ago. So we'll see what ends up happening. Over here from Cointelegraph, we got the SEC weighs plan to allow blockchain-based stock trading amid crypto rush report. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is reportedly developing a plan to allow blockchain-registered versions of stock to trade on cryptocurrency exchanges, a move that would mark a significant step towards integrating digital asset technology into the traditional financial system. The proposal, still in early stages, would let investors buy and sell stocks, digital representations of the shares publicly traded companies on approved crypto platforms, the information reported Tuesday. So we don't know yet if this is going to be after hours trading. Is this going to be 24/7 opposed to the normal 9 to 4, 9 to 3 that we see today? For me personally, in Central Standard Time, we markets open up at 8:30 and close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Is this going to allow, it could literally change the game for traditional finance. Are people going to be able to move these securities that they're holding in the form of a tokenized asset to their private wallets? What happens when those wallets are lost? Is it going to be some type of callback function? I would imagine this is going to be centralized to the extreme, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, stocks and securities as things set currently are centralized. It's not good for a decentralized network token, but you can have a centralized token built upon a decentralized network. That's part of the benefits of having a decentralized network, is anybody can build anything they want. And if they want clawbacks and their customers agreed to use them and it's successful for them, all as well. I don't know if we'll ever see anything built on ordinals, especially on Bitcoin specifically when it comes to this. I would imagine this being more of a ETH, maybe Tron. Tokenizing on the XRP ledger. You could see something like that, but I don't imagine, especially with the big push away from core on people running their nodes, moving over to the NOTS network where it ignores most ordinals. I don't know if the NOTS network would allow these for them specifically. There's a lot to still be up in the air, but it's a fun conversation to be had, and I'd be curious on your guys' thoughts down in the comment section. Over here from CoinDesk, we've got the White House withdrawals pro crypto Brian Quintes name from CFTC chair recommendation. Kind of crazy. Don't know what all has been going on over here, but he made a public statement earlier just thanking the president and thanking the Senate as well, being thankful for their opportunity to decide on it. However, he has stepped down and he's enjoying or he's excited to go back into the private sector. I don't know why anybody would want a job in the government, meaning how much they make, unless they're trying to do some sketchy shit. Make way more money when it comes to Web3, general Bitcoin, crypto, however you want to word it, space, than you can in the government. So to each their own. Maybe you wanted to quote unquote make a difference as all the other politicians do, but I think all things considered, it really won't change much. The CFTC and the SEC are on board with crypto, and whoever's sitting at the head of that, they're not going to be appointed unless they are on board as well. So I don't think we're going to see any major changes in regulations just because this guy wasn't nominated compared to somebody else, or was nominated but wasn't chosen compared to somebody else who will be chosen. Over here from Crypto Slate, we've got strategy increases the dividend rate to 10.25%, declares October cash distribution. So the firm also declared a cash dividend of 85 cents per share on strategy payable on October 31st to stockholders of record as of October 15th. Pretty cool news. I mean, when you're looking at the stock price in the hundreds of dollars and you're only getting 85 cents, might not sound like a lot to most of us that are watching with some of our measly numbers, but to some of the larger players, I know it makes a difference. And over time, if these are continue to be paid out monthly, it can help bring down your average buy-in cost, all things considered. We've got a couple other stories, but I'm going to be saving them tomorrow because we did have some cool news with the SEC allowing the push for stocks and traditional finance securities being able to be traded on the stock market. We'll go ahead and close things out with a little bit of a short episode today, guys. Only about 8 minutes right now, but let's hit it with our daily refresh and see if we are up or down. Looking right now, we just touched it. Looks like we formed a little bit of resistance up here at the 114.245. So let's see if we were able to break past that. We were going back over here to the daily chart. Let's see where we go. We were able to break out of that, and hopefully that continues up to the $115,000 range. Really sitting a little bit below where we were yesterday at this time, but with how the market's played out today, it's genuinely raised my confidence an extreme amount. Not like that matters to any of you guys. Never buy or sell anything based on anything I say or write. That's just a bad idea. So don't get into that. I'm just another guy out here on the YouTubes, just like you guys. So make your own decisions, do your own research. It's worth the while. In the end, more about time in the market than time in the market. Just stay huddle, guys. And if we don't get it this run, we'll get it next. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that noti bell so you're always notified when we're uploading new content and going live. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.